First of all, it wasn't easy. I must say, it wasn't easy at all. There was. I didn't even think about acceptance. I don't think acceptance was in my dictionary. Because the question was, how do I accept this after being a sighted person for 27 years, 2 decades, almost 3 decades? In maths, it's approximately 3 decades. So I couldn't accept it initially. Not until there was this awareness and self-evaluation. Yes, I'll call it self-evaluation, where and I always do that before I lost myself. Where I ask myself, Tommy, do you love yourself enough? Self-love, all those things we do in, let's say, yoga and all those. Exactly. So if you love yourself, you want to do anything that will hurt yourself. So I told myself, okay, Tommy, you didn't die, but you are alive. So what else? What's the next thing? So first of all, I had to love myself first. Again, learn how to love my new identity, because there's also the thoughts. How will my friends see me? How will people see me? This guy, the way we they see for street, see I mean they use white skin. So I had to love that first. I had to embrace holding that white skin. Was it easy? No, it wasn't easy. So loving that first, your new identity, and accepting it started with, I love myself enough to accept whatever has come to me. I didn't shoot myself in the eyes to become a blind person. It wasn't me that did that to myself. So why hurt myself the more? By telling myself I'm not worth it. I'm not worth being alive, or what have you. So it's almost like I'm now shooting myself in the foot. And that this kind of thought and mindset actually guided me to accept my new identity, which I'm proud of today. You see, this question is quite tricky. I say this because they are the ones that don't know how to react with me. It's new to them, it's a new experience. Sometimes they are even scared of, how do I talk to Tommy? So I realized that their friends have even backed away. I don't want to change who I am. I want to be the same Tommy. I don't want anybody to see me as any less of a person, but also I want them to identify that I'm now someone different. So how you react to me is now different. It's not usual. You see that signboard here? No, there are a lot of difference. So some people, I think, I can't force people to learn. The only thing I can do is I can always converse with them to let them know how they can now react with me, how they can now communicate with me. But when they don't even give you that energy in the first place, you don't bother yourself. Some of them now keep their distance. Frankly speaking, some of them don't even talk to me right now. Because it's not like they avoid me. I think it's something. I try to put myself in their shoes. That how do I talk to Tommy? I think I'm not saying that's the way they feel. I can't see what else in their mind rather. But I think that's what they feel. Because of the kind of energy I've gotten sometimes. Some people tell me, Tommy, I don't know how to talk to you. Especially when I call them myself. When they've not come in for like a year. Tommy, I'm sorry, I don't know how to talk to you. Blah, 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 blah. How do so later I now tell them, I shout on WhatsApp, I do this, and they're like, you chat on, yeah, the one I do this on Insta. Yeah, the one, they think it's just this solitary life where I'm in this hollow space of myself. So eventually when they open up for me to react with them, they now realize that it's not so much of a big deal. So yeah. You see, how you appear is how people address you. So imagine I'm going out with my white skin and I'm smiling all the time. It changes their perspective, or how they will look. Is this guy angry? Is he, when they see me looking good, smiling, some of them even want to talk to me. Sometimes I'm going out with my wife. Tommy, I know you from Instagram. Or some people are in my street. They are very, very. It's not. Is this? They don't have that thought that is this guy always arrogant. They always want to talk because I'm giving them that vibe. There's this vibe that I don't want them to see me as arrogant. The only thing is that I've realized that in my conversation with other persons with visual impairments, I realized that they have different experiences. So sometimes it's the way family treats them, it's the way people have treated them in the past, growing up as a blind person. So it builds up that mindset that nobody cares. Even if they want to help you, they're like, ah, well, they have this arrogance. They like that I need help in the first place. You get that kind of. So I think it's different strokes for different folks. You know, for me it's different. I just want that positive energy. I'm going to free around me. You know, just come and meet me. Atom is a nice guy. You know, and all of that. I want to change the mindset, the way, and I'm so happy I'm doing that on my social media. And you know, I okay. Let me answer your first question. Of course, I miss the old me. I miss being able to drive, which I think is not a bad thing. I miss being able to see my loved ones, meet you for the first time. I know how you look. I have your picture of your face in my head. I miss the power of being sighted. You know, and one of the reasons why I miss this as well is because I'm not able to see my kids. And this is one thing that still makes me cry till today. Not that it makes me cry. So sometimes they're doing their birthday. William did his birthday recently, August 29th, and I cried. And I tell people this, some people think, oh, I'm depressed. No, it's all right to cry because tears remind you that you're alive. I remember Ed Sheeran sang that song. He said, it's all right to cry, tears remind you you're alive. I keep going back to that because, you see, you saying you don't want to cry as a man is you saying you don't want to be human. You don't have stone as heart. So that doesn't mean I'm depressed. You know, so I cry, you know, I miss that. I tell myself, if only God can give me those one moments, let me see my son. So sometimes I've dreamt about my son before. You have the picture of the way he looks in my dream. You know, I've dreamt about him when he was just a baby. I have that picture in my head right now. And obviously, it's not the way he looks right now. Maybe I don't know. I can't see anything. Everywhere is dark. You know, so I do miss. But to answer your second question, you see, I also refer to the fact that as a Christian, there's a conversation I always have with God, which is, if giving me back my sight make me less of a person, or makes me go back to just being an ordinary person and not making an impact like I'm doing right now, then I don't want it back. And that shocks people. Yes. So, do I prefer this just so that I'm not so sensitive? Not that I prefer it, but I am okay with it. So if I have any opportunities to regain my sight, why not? Yes. And I'll still be able to tell my story. I was able to, you know, I lost my sight and everything. Okay, eventually science did something. I was able to see again. It will still be my story. I don't prefer it, but I'm cool with it. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the fact that I didn't give up. I didn't back down. I didn't put my back on the ground. I looked at my condition and I realized, I asked myself, how do I turn this mess to a message? And what you see today, you know, the rest is history. You know, my drive has been the fact that people reach out to me and say, Tommy, you inspire me. I get DMs, I get messages. Tommy, you inspire me. Tommy, I was thinking my life is worse. Oh, you are going through this. So when I get these feedbacks from people, it gives me this sense of purpose and drive that told me you need to do more for people. So that pushes me to do more. I get that constantly, almost every week. A new person is discovering my story. Told me I heard your story. They give me a call sometimes. Told me, hey God, if you're not complaining, oh, you're smiling, I see you dancing. You know, I love to dance. They see those videos as well. You tell us that, oh, I may be blind, but my legs are not impaired. Oh, and you know, they give me all this feedback. It gives me this sense of fulfillment. And also, one thing that gives me this drive is the fact that, you know, I have this fulfillment, and I know that if I die today, you know, I tell myself, if I die today, I'll die with a smile on my face because I know I'm leaving a good legacy behind. If people come to my Instagram page tomorrow, yes, people will cry, told me this is my person and all of that. But I know that I've left my mark. And there's nothing in this life. See, it's not about how long you live. but about how well. I remember it was, I can't remember where I heard that from, but it's not about, and I give myself that kind of mindset that, see, right there, I'm not scared of dying, say, that's the way I'm wired now, so it's just that fulfillment, and that knowing fully well that I'm leaving that legacy behind for not just my family, everyone around me, my son, my daughter. My advice to anyone going through such or similar experiences is that, you see, disability is not a death sentence. Disability doesn't mean you are less human. Disability doesn't stop you from fulfilling your dreams. It doesn't stop you from loving yourself. It doesn't stop you from being loved. And don't don't have this mindset that, hey, people will not like me and all of that. No. If you have that kind of mindset, that is going to become, it's going to determine who you are going to be. Come out with the energy, who you are. Don't come out with, I am with my disability. Who are you, first of all? Come out with that energy, and people accept you for who you are. If you come with a false energy or a negative vibe, that's what people will give to you. And secondly, just in case this is making you depressed, you didn't say that you want to be disabled. You didn't say that, oh, you want to go through cancer, or you prayed it for yourself. You said, no, it's not a prayer point that anybody prays for. My advice to you is, would you shoot yourself in the foot by keep wailing in sorrow, complaining about life, or choose to love you first, or choose to accept and bring the beauty, like I keep saying, out of ashes, or find your silver lining in that storm? What is that experience teaching you? I tell people this: a person with disability shouldn't be seen with pity, but every person with ability should be a source of inspiration to other persons who are not disabled. You are an inspiration to somebody. If you pick yourself up and you tell yourself that your disability will not define you, imagine how many people you will be inspiring. You might just be a speaker, you might just help somebody out of depression. You can be that hope for somebody else. So disability is not a death sentence.